Hello, bandits. We're going to talk about trading a range break, identifying it beforehand so you know what to look for, and how the morning plans that I kind of post helped me catch this meta move and some other moves that we did on 8 9, August 9th, 2023, year of our Lord. With all that, I'm Gator. Let's get this puppy started. So if you're new to my content, I'm a day trader, full-time day trader. I give out morning calls, ideas, trading ideas that I'm looking to happen every day, and I post them in there in a Discord for free, and I'll be on Twitter soon and some other places. So I do that, and then I trade live, and I let those trades work, play them out, and scalp certain strategies that take place within moves like this. And I wanted to talk about this one specifically, along with a few other ones that we posted. So every day we do a little bit of a review. And if you'll look at it, every day in Discord, I post something like this, kind of giving my thoughts on different things for the day and what I want to trade. And I want to look at meta as the first one on there. And so what I said was, we're smack dab. Let's zoom in to when we started. So my comments were, at the beginning of the 9th, we are smack dab in the middle of a 6-day range, about between 315.50 and 318 on and on the upper side, on the lower side 311.50 to 310 on the downside. Watch for a trend set up that will take you into either of these levels. Once you get to them, watch and see what patterns form. You'll either take out the range or reverse, play the reverse or the breakout based on the market. So we have an idea of how I'm looking to trade meta, and we have an idea of what what the chart looks like over the last couple of days. So I drew this out here to show you. Just look at that range. We're clearly just bouncing in between the ranges, playing in the middle a little bit, dropping down. Obviously, this move's already happened. We're a day or two later, and you can see if you were to come in here, you were to drop a line down here. You were to take this tool and you were to drop another line down here somewhere, you can kind of see the ranges where they're playing out to, right? So you can know what to expect when you get between either one of them. So what we were looking for in meta at the start of the 9th, and of course the whole market kind of came in, but we're opening up in a very tight formation as far as the moving averages go. I've done videos on this before. As moving averages, especially on the 2-minute time frame, but even 5-minute time frame, begin to get closer and flatten out, that's a lot of times when I'm looking for these moves. So we set up at the open. The whole market, if you were to take a look at what the market was doing, began selling off. Meta actually was a little bit slower, but you instantly get a nice doji candle in the middle, an inside candle, and then a breakdown. We took meta short. We took it all the way short to the bottom of the range, around $10 or so. We sold some just in case it was going to reverse. It was clear at this point that the market was going to go lower. The market did not catch a bounce. I re-entered with more size, and then we had an actual range break. When you have something like this, you're going to get one of two things, and I'll show you, and there'll be future trades where we talk about the reverse. You'll get this or you'll get a reversal where you come in, you drop a little bit below, and you reverse hard. So you have to be careful when you're just shorting. It's not good to short blindly, but market context is everything, and the market itself was very bearish, and this again was a 6-day range. So you break out, we go lower, we catch this move, and we play it to the downside. We play to about 305, 307 is where I got off. Before I got off, I talked in chat that I was looking for a measured move completion, and I thought we were going to go down to about 305. I didn't expect us to go, and I said 305, I think, because of the hourly 200. So you had an hourly 200. This is an hourly chart down here. I was looking for about 305 to tag, and then eventually come into the bottom of this measured move. When you get a range that's this wide like this, you can usually take a tool like a box, and you can create a box around it. And you could do something like this. This isn't exact because I'm not looking, I'm just kind of throwing this on. And you can do something, where's the breakdown? Like that. You could draw it like that from the breakdown candle. something like this, and you can look for a measured move completion to come to the bottom of that range. So depending on how you draw it, there's some different stuff out there on how you can draw these and where you draw them from, but roughly a perfect box of that, that's your highest point. And generally I would go from this one, but be that as it may. Looking for that move into the 200 was the name of the game. I actually had to leave early, but that is something that you want to look for when you're trying to look at your chart to see, well, what can I trade today? Is there anything I like? Is there anything I don't like? Where are we at when we're opening up? We're opening up right in the middle of a range. If we bounce and go higher, we're going to come into the top of the range more than likely, because a lot of your moving averages are on top of you now. So you should have clear space. There's an anchored VWAP up there, but we should at least get a move in $16. Okay, so now we open up. What's the market doing? The market is dropping. Every other name is dropping. Netflix, some other names we'll talk about really quick that happened, we're all going down. So what's the context? The context on that day is bearish. So what should we do? We should look for that bearish play and that bearish setup. I took this one short very early, but you could have waited until it flagged and then broke down if you wanted to, but you would just need to know at that point your stop needs to be above at least R1 here. That's kind of a risk reward thing on how you enter your trades and where you enter your trades. For me, I took it up here, but you could have taken it down here too. Either way, we broke down, consolidated, and then went lower into the rest of the day. So this was a big winner, roughly 8 points. Let's see, from the entry was 12, and I got out around 7, so that's only 5 there. Consolidated, I had put a buy stop around here and had gotten back in it for partial size, but I actually wasn't at the computer. I just saw that it triggered, and I had a stop midway up, and it didn't trigger. I ended up selling for another 2 points on micro size compared to the original trade, but it ended up working, and it was a nice little scalp and a good setup. That's what I'm looking for on days like that. And whenever I see a range like this beginning to form, I begin to draw a box. I try to find the levels at the top and the bottom. And then if we opened up at the top like we did here, and like we did in one of the other names we played on that day, Netflix. So Netflix, I got some other stuff here I'll delete from today. Obviously I'm recording this a day later. Tried to do a show last night, but things came in. So let's take a look at Netflix. This was one of the later ones that we called, or one of the last ones that I wrote about. So Netflix, this looks interesting. You are at the top of a range. All right, so we're at the top of a range. Let's zoom out. Let's take a look. So we can clearly see we've had multiple, let me jump back over. So we've had multiple reversals where we were opening. Multiple times we failed to get up and hold above this since the first try. We failed. So we're opening up near that place where we reversed many times. So it should be on your radar, because you're either going to break through the top of it and get a move, or you're going to fail and come back into the middle. So this is looking interesting. You're at the top of a range at the open. I'll see if we get a quick pop into 445, so just level I was looking at. Then we could, if we do, we'll get another 5 points. I don't really think that happens. If we break down and take out 348.50, look for 431.50. So I didn't have a lot of confidence that this was going to break out. I was fairly bearish, thinking we were going to fail and we weren't going to get that move to the upside, just looking at the pre-market. And absolutely beautiful. You could have shorted that through 38. You could have shorted it sooner, but definitely through 38.50 all the way down. A little bit of pop here. This was a re-entry short. Myself and I think CT2 might have caught this one. The short into the 200, short off the 200, and then all the way through 31 actually into the bottom of the range. I called 31 because it was this previous pivot, which has held a few times. If the market wasn't so weak, that might have held. But you can see if we delete this, that it came to the bottom of this range, and obviously today we're doing something else, so don't even worry about that. But just looking at that $28 or so, you came in a little bit lower than that and started tagging, what do you tag, 27.50. But either way, my target was 31, because if you're failing at the top in the breakout, you're going to come into the midpoint almost guaranteed, or you kind of consolidate and you don't do anything. But on a day when the market's coming down, boom, boom, consolidate back up, and now we're doing what we're doing today. Not worried about that right now. So Beautiful little setup there. Beautiful little short right out the open. You know, if you like my list, if you're looking at it, if you're wondering how to play it, to me, great setup there. The other ones we had a few other ones. We'll take a look at them. We talked about NVIDIA. I don't think I'm going to do a breakdown on each one of these trades. The idea of this is more just the range break and seeing where you're at. NVIDIA was different. NVIDIA was in a more of a bullish pattern, and so I messed up on this one. Sorry, by not. I messed up on this one by not talking about the downside. If it broke, it's kind of a bullish pattern. So this is a different trade than a range break. Instead, this is a failed pattern. And with what the market did, this just completely, you know, tanked nice and hard out of the open. So in NVIDIA, I said range bound. If we drop to 440, 439, I would look for a bounce into 450. If we bounce early to 455, I'd watch for it to roll over and come back to the opening range. So I was looking for either a bounce into up here and then a rollover and kind of chop around, because remember we'd had multiple choppy days, or if you were to drop really quick, which is what we did at the open, to catch a bid and actually rip. But the market was going down, so I never got in this for a bounce to the upside. I never played that. I just stuck with the short. Some other people called this and played this one better than me. I didn't, you know, I don't always call things right, so this is one that I did not say, you know, if we get a break of this pattern like this and you start failing hard, you know, this is an absolutely beautiful short here. Once you get down, you start flagging, you come up a little bit. That's a 5 minute. Look on your 2 minute. You come right into that 21. I know there we go. Let me jump back. I keep forgetting I'm not on that. You come right back into the 21. Beautiful drop, consolidation, moving averages catch up, start accelerating down. We called this one and caught that, and ends up just, you know, absolutely beautiful trade. The notes didn't really help you on that one, but you know, we were definitely trading that name. It was a good time. Definitely, I needed to be a little bit more clear in that note. Tesla, if you hold 250 early, I would look for a bounce into 254 and then 257. If we fail to push higher, I think we come into 245 and then see how the price behaves there. I could see 241 if the market tanks. And AMD, if you take out the highs, I'd look for a pop in a 215. And if you break down, it would go into 109. I don't think I need to cover each one of these. You can go back and review them if you want to. I do want to keep these kind of short. The main idea of this, I think both those calls did okay as far as what was happening, except it moved a lot more. But MetaTrade being the main one to watch, and something for you guys to look for in the future when you see these ranges setting out and you're opening up in the middle of the range, and then you have a day where the market does something like it did, you know, on the 9th, or you're setting up in that pattern. It's just a beautiful trade and set up to get you some really good money. And like I said, if I had some other stuff to do that day, I couldn't trade all day, but that, you know, would have been an absolutely beautiful trade and move all the way down to the bottom there. So hopefully this helps you look for stuff like this. Look for these ranges and these range breaks. Once you get through them, if you've ever traded fibs and stuff like that, I talk about in a lot of my videos, you can very easily do something like this. There's your target, you know, perfect target right there. So once you get, you know, a 2 minute consolidation, you have a clear leg down, we move in. As soon as it starts forming, you have a range. I always throw this up. So if I don't know what target to do, I don't know when to sell, I don't know when to not sell, there's your range. I'll delete this really quick. You know, very easy way to draw this. Middle of the day, when you're looking for trades, you're looking for ideas. There's your opening drive down. Here's your boxes kind of here. You know, here's your flag, bear flag as it were, and there's your fib. It's us within the 38%, so it's really not bouncing. There's your moving averages. Pick whichever one. If you take a trade in here, your stop needs to be above this 310 or so. You just got to give it that range. It never tested higher, and we start rolling over. You hit your first target, 305.40. You hit your second target, 303.15. On a weak market, this is a textbook sell-off, consolidation, finish your fib move for your legs down. Every day, all day, Love these kind of trades. I love stuff like this. Very nice active sequence down. Worked like a charm. So when you're looking for something, yes, it's a choppy market. Yes, you have times when something doesn't work. You wait for something like this. That's a payday. That makes the month right there. That can make the week. That can do a lot for you. So start looking for stuff like this. If you do see stuff like this, post it. You could post the trade in the comments. Tell me the date and the name, and I'll go check it out. Or you can hit me up in Discord, and I'll take a look at it. Find stuff like this. Find stuff that trades like this, and you'll be able to make money consistently in this business. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you all next time.